Hello and welcome, TBU fans. I am your host, King05, and today I am bringing you my Week 5 match up against rizzyPOW. And yeah, so let's get right into the team builder section of this video. He has a pretty threatening team, not gonna lie. He has Mega Scizor, Mimikyu, Nidoking, Superior, Snorlax, Uxie, and a nice Rain Core of Politoed, Kingdra, Tornti. So, I, on the other hand, have the other Pokemon that you can see on the screen. I'm not going to read them out for you, but this matchup is kind of, could go either way, honestly. Mega Scizor is pretty scary, that's why I brought both of my fire types, as you can see on your screen. The rain is just pretty threatening because I am bringing the two fire types to hopefully deal with Mega Scizor super easily. And I do have Tapu Fini for that, but Tapu Fini doesn't have reliable recovery and it can only switch in so many times to a Specs Kingdra in the rain because Hydro Pump is doing something like 35%. Couple that with if he gets up Stealth Rocks, which my Tapu Fini is super pressured to defog this week. It can get worn down pretty easily, so definitely fearing that, as well as he can run like Sludge Wave Torn or like Offensive Snorlax, or something along those lines, Superior even, to pressure my Fini. And it's just, I don't know, I do have the check, like one of the best checks in the game for Rain, but it can be worn down with his team. Mimikyu looking kind of threatening-ish. I do have answers to it, but yeah, let's get right into the team that I decided to build. So first off, we have the Sneasel Clawful Pun, rocking the Focus Sash this week with the Sash counter, hopefully just catching one of his physical threats, being the Mega Scizor basically. Basically just for the Bullet Punch, because if I can just eliminate that, just catch him off guard with the counter, then that would be great. I just have the standard Ice Shard knockoff Icicle Crash as my last three moves. For my speed creeping, I decided to creep Mimikyu because Superior is not going to be something that he's switching into Sneasel. Like, on a double down, or like if I kill something with Sneasel, he's not going to go ahead and bring in Superior. And this isn't going to be a switch into Superior anyways, because I have better things to switch into Superior, like my Volcarona, like my Heatran, like my Salamence, and I guess my Gengar as well. Like 4 Pokemon that switch into Superior better than Sneasel, and I have Ice Shard to hit it anyways if it's low, so I didn't feel the need to go Jolly, as Adamant is really appreciated versus his team. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this pretty basic. Knockoff is nice for removing items as always. Mega Scizor is the obvious counter to this, but I have the counter to his counter being counter. So yeah, moving on to the Tapu Fini. This is a bit of an interesting spread. Max HP and max special defense. This is not level 50 right now because it's actually illegal at level 50, but I'm just going to change it back for you guys. Max HP with quite a lot of special attack investment and again quite a lot of special defense. This allows me to switch in to his Rain Sweepers, being Kingdra and a Life Orb Torn potentially. Switch in on those decently well, Torn not quite as much, but Kingdra I can definitely switch in on. And what the offensive investment allows me to do is OHKO his Nidoking, which I'm definitely expecting him to bring Rocks Nidoking, and I don't want him to get up Rocks for free, especially when I have a Volcarona, a Salamence, and a Sash Sneasel. I don't want Rocks being up, so if I can just OHKO that thing as it sets up Rocks, or at least prevent it from setting up Rocks if he wants to kill me with Sludge Wave, or like, it won't even kill, it'll do a lot, but it won't kill necessarily, unless I'm weakened already. But yeah, Surf, Moonblast, Defog, Hidden Power, Fire for this Scizor. I think I probably over-prepped for Scizor, but like, what you gonna do? That thing is a monster. But yeah, Surf, Moonblast hits basically his entire team. Nature's Madness would be nice for the Snorlax, but I don't see him bringing in Snorlax on Fini too often. Again, I guess he would just fear the Nature's Madness, and he wouldn't want his Volcarona answer getting chipped, because then Volcarona becomes a huge threat to his team. And yeah, so just these moves, and leftovers for longevity, because if this thing doesn't have leftovers, it basically loses all recovery, and it can just get worn down extremely fast. But yeah, moving on to my next Pokemon, which is going to be Salamence. This is going to be Roseraiders this week to take a hit from a player of Mimikyu. I have nearly max attack, nearly max speed with minimal bulk, just allows me to set up and hit hard immediately. Dragon Claw, Fire Fang, and Earthquake hits his entire team. He does not have a flying resist, so Z-Fly would be very threatening to his team, but with these coverage moves I hit everything anyways and I don't waste my Z slot, and I also get the Roselia Berry so I can not get revenge on Mimikyu quite as easily. This thing, I'm not expecting to sweep with it, I'm just expecting like mid-game to early game just set up and break some holes, because my other Pokemon definitely appreciate some of the walls being weakened by this Salamence. So yeah, that's why I don't have Moxie. I'm not going for a late game sweep, I'm just going for the easy setup with Intimidate as well as just quick damage. But yeah, moving on to the next Pokemon. This is going to be Volcarona. This is also level 100 because it is illegal at 50 because it evolves past 50, but just set that back to 50 for you guys. This is a pretty fat Volcarona, almost max HP, modest with a little bit of special attack, and almost max speed. And what this thing does is it sets up on Mega Scizor, it sets up on Mimikyu, it sets up on Nidoking, lacking a Rock Slide, for example. I think it gets Rock Slide. Sets up on Serperior, sets up on Snorlax lacking Rock Slide, which I think he'll have Rock Slide, but if he's a Curse Lax, I'm feeling his moves will be Return and Earthquake. So if he is that, then I can set up on that as well. Set up on Uxie kind of, but Thunder Wave, I don't really want to set up on that thing. I'd rather just, switch out or kill it with a Bug Buzz. Politoed, don't really set up on Kingdra, not at all. And Torn, I actually do set up on a non-boosted Tornadus, like no Life Orb. If it's like AV and bulky and not max special attack or something like that, I can Quiver Dance on his switch in, and then if I Quiver Dance again, his Hurricane's only doing like 40%, so he has to either crit or confuse to break my Volcarona, and then I can just set up to +6 and Oko everything. At least that's the plan. So I have the Quiver Dance, Bug Buzz, Fiery Dance, Roost because the dual stabs hits basically his entire team for neutral or super effective damage. Bugginium Z gives me the Savage Spin Out on the Bug Buzz, allowing me to Oko standard Snorlax at +3, which none of my other moves come even close to that. So that's really nice. And yeah, moving on to my Gengar, and this is going to be a Sub-Wisp variant with Shadow Ball and Focus Blast. Hits his entire team neutrally, if not super effectively, just like Volcarona's stabs. Really nice coverage versus team. Black Sledge for the recovery, because going for subs without any recovery is kind of bad, unless it's a offensive sub-life orb thing, but this is not quite that. Will-O-Wisp is nice because if his Mega Scizor wants to switch into a Shadow Ball, that thing gets neutered. Mimikyu gets neutered, I can just Will-O-Wisp it or break its disguise, whichever one is more convenient at the time. I can Will-O-Wisp Snorlax, which would be a nice switch into this thing, and just Will-O-Wisp hits a lot of his Pokemon, and neutering their attack stat is very helpful. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this thing. I'm speed creeping Mimikyu, and that's basically it for that. Moving on to my last Pokemon, which is going to be Heatran. Rocking the Air Balloon, max speed, max HP. This is to outspeed a max speed Scizor, because a lot of Scizors, in OU at least, run max speed superpower to deal with Heatran. At least they did before Heatran started running max speed, and I didn't want to fall for that trap, so I am just outspeeding that basically. I have the Air Balloon so that I can switch into any Nidoking hit basically. His hardest move to hit me is Ice Beam. Let's put it that way. At least until he breaks the balloon. Then I get blown back, but like, I have the one-time counter to that thing. Balloon also is nice for any hidden power grounds that he wants to slap on his Pokemon, because Heatran does wall quite a few Pokemon. I'm expecting Serperior to have HP ground, and yeah, that can be an issue if I don't have an Air Balloon. But yeah, Lava Plume, Earth Power Stealth Rocks, and Taunt. This is for the potential Curse Snorlax, which does kind of body me a little bit, as well as just taunting the rocks on Nidoking if I can somehow outspeed that. Not expecting to, but like, I don't know, I'd probably click Earth Power versus that thing anyways, but I can taunt, I guess a lead Uxie trying to get rocks. That's another thing I could taunt. Yeah, I didn't really need a third move because Lava Flu and Earth Power is pretty nice coverage versus his team. And yeah, that's all for my team builder. Let's get right into the battle. So here we are. I'd like to thank Potato Jim for recording this video for me, as I don't have a capture card and he was generous enough to provide me with this recording. But anyways, let's check out the matchup. He brought the Torn Tea, the Mimikyu, Snorlax, Nidoking, Serperior, and the Mega Scizor. So seeing that, I know that Salamence can put in a lot of work as long as I can break the Mimikyu's disguise, or I can use Salamence to break the disguise forcibly so that my other Pokemon have a better chance of sweeping. So, looking at this, I'm going to decide to lead off with my Salamence. I'm just going to let this play out here as rizzyPOW challenges me. Nice. rizzyPOW. Nice. But yeah, I'm going to lead off with my Salamence versus his lead, which is going to be Tornadus. Now Tornadus T, the only thing it can really do to threaten me is an Icy Wind, and I don't expect him to be packing that, as he'd want Hurricane, Sludge Wave, Hidden Power Ground for Heatran, and like U-Turn. I feel like that's going to be his moveset, so I'm going to go straight for the Dragon Dance as he can't kill me with anything. And now what I'm going to do is I'm looking at his team, and he only has one logical play here. Sacking Tornadus is not the play because this thing is very, very important for him, and he really can't afford to sack it. And I was looking at his entire team. The only switch that makes sense is going Scizor here on a potential Dragon move and trying to kill with the Bullet Punch if he's offensive. So I'm going to make the hard read and go straight for the Fire thing, as he does go out into his Mega Scizor, and I get rid of that thing with turn 2, which is amazing for me. I did bring the double Fire types, kind of just making sure this thing did nothing, and it did exactly that, nothing. So that's very nice. Salamence getting his first kill of the game, and now he goes into his Mimikyu. I'm just going to take this as an opportunity to break his disguise with the Earthquake, and yeah. So play rough, even though I have the Roselli Berry. If he's Life Orb or something like that, or if he's even Adamant, I believe it does knock me out anyways, but at least puts me in Shadow Sneak range. But he's actually going to go for the Z move here, and he's going to reveal that to be the Never-Ending Nightmare. So that's going to definitely just kill my Salamence, and yeah, pretty nice animation here. It is taking quite a while though, but yeah, nice. So Mimikyu, I broke its disguise, which means a set of Volcarona could definitely start to run through his team, especially since Shadow Sneak is doing literally 0 to me because I am max HP. But yeah, I'm just going to take this as an opportunity to go into my Heatran and set up the rocks, I believe. Yeah, I believe I go for the rocks as he switches out into his Snorlax. And yeah, I get up the rocks, and now what I am going to do is go straight for the taunt, because if this thing is Curselax, I don't want it setting up in my face. And yeah, he's actually going to go for the Earthquake here. He told me after the game that he did not see that my Heatran was on a balloon, so that's quite unfortunate for him. I'm going to switch out into my Gengar, predicting a return to break my balloon as he goes for the Rock Slide. And you're going to see this does a lot of damage. And that reveals that he is max attack Adamant. So here, I'm like, okay, this thing is max attack, that means it doesn't have too much investment in bulk. So a Volcarona could definitely do a lot of work to him late game if I set up, for example. And he revealed the Rock Slide already, so that means he can OHKO my Volcarona. But if I get off this Will-O-Wisp here, he's not able to OHKO my Volcarona, which means I can get off 2 hits on this thing instead of just 1. So I'm just going to go straight for the Will-O-Wisp here, because if I burn this, it's super nice, and I miss. So yeah, he just kills me with an Earthquake here, and that really sucks. But I mean, it's Pokemon. I did hack Kyle quite badly, if you watched that game. But yeah, getting a little bit of payback here, and I'm going to miss my Will-O-Wisp. Now I go out into my Sneasel because if I can knock this thing off, he is kind of giving off the vibe of being Assault Vest, so if I can knock off the Assault Vest, that means Volcarona does a lot more damage to it. And yeah, he just switches out into his Mimikyu, takes the knockoff, does pretty much no damage considering this is a Mimikyu. And here, I have two plays. I can stay in and just kill him with the next one, but that means that I am going to lose my Focus Sash on Sneasel because he's definitely going for Shadow Sneak here. Now I don't want to lose my Sash because that is my safety net versus some of his offensive threats, so I am going to preserve the Sash here and switch out into my Tapu Fini, which does wall this thing pretty easily, especially since there's no way he's going for a Sword Stance here. I'm definitely going for a Sneak, and I am able to eat that up with relative ease. And now I know that Moonblast is going to knock him out here, so I'm just going to go straight for that, as he can't really touch me with too much, apart from the Wood Hammer, which he does reveal here. So I do definitely regret going out into my Fini, because losing the Sash was not that big of a deal compared to losing about 60% health on my Fini for no real reason. But I am going to knock him out with the Surf here, and now he's going to go out into his Nidoking, I believe. And what I'm going to do versus the Nidoking, getting a little ahead of myself, sorry, but he does sound like the Nidoking. I have a lot of special attack on this thing, if you remember, so I'm going to go straight for the Surf because I know he's clicking Stealth Rock here. There's no question in my mind, and I definitely want to just knock this thing out, as it's a huge threat now that my Heatran... Does my Heatran still have its balloon? I think it does, but nevertheless I do want to knock this thing out immediately, and I do just that. So that's really nice for me, and I get a little bit more leftovers, which puts me out of range of Sludge Wave from Tornadus, so that's pretty nice. As he does bring in his Tornadus, just screaming the Sludge Wave here, but it's okay because I can live that anyways. So here, I believe I'm just going to go for the Defog because I cannot afford to have rocks up on the field. I just can't allow that. It means that I'm also defogging my own rocks, which kind of sucks because the chip on Snorlax and Tornadus would have been amazing, but the rocks on my side are just a little bit worse for me than the rocks on his side. So I am going to defog, and I'm just going to sack my Fini here as it's at 30 HP. It's not going to be doing anything else this game. And yeah, that gives me a free switch out into my Heatran. I believe at this point I only have my Heatran and my Volcarona left. So it's looking kind of not the best. Oh, and I also have my Sneasel, sorry. So I got into my Sneasel, and here he goes for the U-turn, and that kind of sucks. I go for the Ice move because it basically gets a kill, because if he goes Snorlax I can just knock off that and get rid of its AV, which is even better than getting a kill, as he just goes and sacks his Superior. So yeah, he is going to die to this Icicle Crash, and it's gone. So yeah, I get a crit, didn't matter, definitely did not. So I definitely regret trying to save my Focus Sash on Sneasel now because it was broken anyways, and I just sacked my Fini's health versus the Mimikyu for no reason at all. And yeah, that was kind of a misplay by me. But yeah, now I'm just going to go for the Ice Shard for damage. Here, I probably could have gone Heatran, and that would have been, it would have given me a better chance at winning because I would still have my Sneasel in the back, which once he goes out into Snorlax, and I can just go for the Lava Plume or Stealth Rocks on the Snorlax with my Heatran. Then he kills me with Earthquake, and I can go into my Sneasel again, getting damage and knockoff, or killing the Torn on the switch-in, so I guarantee get a knockoff on the Snorlax, but unfortunately I do not do that. And here I'm just going to go through Lava Plume because my only play at this point is burning the Snorlax here. Go for Lava Plume as he switches into Snorlax, switches out of Snorlax into the Torn, and I get the burn, but that is on the wrong Pokemon, unfortunately. Yeah, so I do burn, which is fortunate. Getting Chip on this Tornadus is nice because he is definitely an Assault Vest from that damage. As he goes for the Hurricane to break my Balloon. And yeah, I'm just going to go spam Lava Plume here. And that's going to 2-hit KO the Tornadus after burn damage and stuff. And now he's going to reveal the Hidden Power Ground. And that's going to do a lot of damage, but because I am max HP, I am going to live that kind of comfortably, kind of not, but I do go for the Lava Plume and knock him out. Now here, he can go into his Snorlax, and my only play is going for the burn on Lava Plume. This Snorlax should be burned in the first place, but I do need to burn this if I want any chance at winning. And do I get it? Can I get some justice? That's going to be a no for me, dog. But now I basically lose to this Snorlax, as Earthquake will take out my Heatran, and the Volcarona is going to die to Rock Slide, and I can't kill him with a Savage Spin Out at neutral, especially considering he's definitely Assault Vest from that pitiful damage. But yeah, Volcarona, this is where the burn really matters. If I got the burn on the Lava Plume with that last turn, I actually did all the math, and depending on rolls and such, I had about a 45% chance to win, because a lot of things could have happened. I'm going to just go for the Savage Spin Out here, as it's my strongest move to hit him if it super crits, for example. I know I already lost this game, but if I dodge Rock Slide, for example, and then it's a long lost hope at this point. But if I did burn him there, he would be taking chip from that. He can't kill me with 2 Rock Slides if I roost, so I get 2 turns of burn off on him. I get off a Bug Buzz. I could get a special defense drop on that, and then I can go for the Savage Spin Out next turn, which would get me the highest amount of damage on his Snorlax possible. But unfortunately that's not going to happen, and he is going to take the game 1-0, and that was a good game to him, honestly. He made some pretty spicy plays, like Earthquaking a Balloon Heatran, but like overall I think he played pretty well, and I think I also played pretty decently as well. I had the win conditions in place. Unfortunately, Will-O-Wisp was a really good move and kind of let me down. But I'm not going to dwell on it too much, because I did kind of pick up a very hacksy win against Kyle last week, so I can't really complain about missing a Will-O-Wisp at all. And we're just going to move on to the next week and try to bounce back off of this loss. But that is all from me, and I'll see you guys next week in that video.